What up? What up? What up, DeMarcus? What up, Detroit? Man, it looks like it's beginning, y'all. It looks like it's beginning. I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo You Know, and today I think I'm a. I think for this trial, I'm gonna try to do daily updates. 8 weeks, daily updates about Diddy. Diddy's daily or daily Diddy. Dilly, dilly, daily, I don't know, man. Daily Diddy. There we go. The daily Diddy. Daily Diddy. Daily Diddy do it? Daily Diddy. Well, either way, we're gonna be going over for the next 8 weeks updates on the Diddy trial. And today, some celebrity names were mentioned. What up, Kendall? Not saying that they are victims or they were into any freaky. It's just their names were mentioned. So we're gonna go over all of that. Over 600 people have been called for jury duty. They're trying to get 12 jurors with 6 reserves, 6 backups. They want jury selection done by Thursday, so we'll just go over that. We'll talk about some of the defense that Diddy is trying to propose, which sounds freaking stupid. Remember, this is just opinions. This gentleman is presumed innocent until found guilty, if he's going to be found guilty. I personally don't give a damn. I'll give my opinion on the situation. But all I'm gonna be doing is giving you guys articles. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at the people that wrote the article. I'll be stating my opinion, which I have the right to do. And again, I really don't give a damn. If he did it, send his ass to jail. If he didn't do it, let his ass go. But we're gonna find out what the hell's going on right now. And his defense sounds a little shaky. Even I wouldn't take this defense route. Now, allegedly, what they're saying is one of his defenses was he was on drugs and high and drunk. So he really couldn't, keep himself together when he's doing it. But that's like me going to rob the bank and saying, well, I was drunk as hell that day. I ain't really mean to rob the bank, but I got drunk and I was high and I robbed the bank. So you really can't throw me in jail. But I don't know. That's just a rumor. So we're gonna see. We'll just follow up on it. Yeah, there's a lot of names being named. They said Ye, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Myers, who was the other person? But the judge basically told Diddy and them, hey, we don't want the other celebrities' names mentioned in this crowd. We going after you, Negro. But this is one of those moments where they should have never gave you niggas money. But you know, we did see the tape of Diddy and Cassie. So we can't blame anybody. We can't really say the system is like this because he was on tape whooping ass. You know what I mean? Yeah, he did pay some money. I know there's a Dr. Umar interview. He did pay money for her to be done with this, but when it's criminal, it doesn't matter what you paid. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll just see what the hell is going on. Like I said, we'll probably try to do daily updates, the Diddy Daily. Let me see. Go live. Um, Start off on the AP. Says Sean Diddy Combs ex trafficking trial begins with jury selection. Let's see what they got out here. Um, it says the federal ex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs, a hip hop entrepreneur whose widely successful career has been dotted by allegations of violence, began on Monday in New York City with the jury selection that could last several days. Opening statements by lawyers and the start of the testimony are expected next week. Several dozen prospective jurors got a brief description of ex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges against Combs from the judge, who reminded them that Combs had pleaded not guilty and was presumed innocent. Me personally, right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm not taking this to trial. Whatever they were offering, I'm taking. If it's 15 years, I'm taking. If it's 20 years, I'm taking. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna go ahead and end it, and we'll try to appeal it. But I'm not about to continue to pay these lawyers out. I'm pretty sure the feds have a lot of information. This isn't your local PD, all right? This isn't the local lawyer down the street that live right next door to you. Know, this is the feds. That means they got money for days. What we'll see. We don't know what the plea deal was. It may have been something ridiculous, 50 years. But they said with all of these charges, it's up to life. So, um, and the crazy thing is racketeering. So even just like kind of like the Young Thug trial, everyone's like, "Oh, he beat the Young Thug didn't beat it. Yeah, he beat the RICO, but he still got 15 years. He still pled guilty to other charges, so he didn't beat anything but the RICO. You know what I mean? But there's still other charges. Just like this is ex trafficking, also is RICO. So there's more than one charge that he has here. So if one don't stick, they can still hit you with one of the other charges. So in order to beat this, it's like freaking 12 different charges that he has. So anything can happen. Yeah, you might be able to beat the RICO. You might be able to beat like the ex trafficking, but can you beat the ex abuse? You see what I'm saying? It's so much stuff. Can you beat uh what else do they got? I forgot they got another one where you got them under the influence, have them going against their will. There's a whole bunch of different things. You got ex trafficking, and you got kidnapping, moving somebody from one room to another room against their will. It's all kinds of stuff that you got to beat. So that's why I'm looking at it like, man, at this point, what, I'm 56, 57. I lived a good enough life. Uh, I'm going ahead and take the damn plea. Try to get like a 15 piece, 15, 20 piece. I can get out when I'm 70. Have at least 100 M left. But then there's 60 other lawsuits that are there for Diddy also. So it's just all kinds of wild shit right now. As the judge spoke, Combs sat with his lawyers. He wore a sweater over a white collar shirt and gray slacks, which the judge had allowed rather than jail clothing. Combs, 55, has been held in the Grim federal lockup in Brooklyn since his arrest last September. His hair and goatee were almost fully gray because dye isn't allowed in jail. Unlike other recent high-profile celebrity trials, Combs' court case won't be broadcast live because federal courtrooms do not allow electronic recordings inside, meaning courtroom sketch artists serve as a public eye in the courtroom. So we won't hear anything. We'll just be getting updates. Right now, they are currently on lunch. I'm not sure what time they went on lunch. Last update I seen was they were on lunch. This is just jury selection. So we'll see a line about 600 to 700 people that are lining up. Because think about it. If you got called for jury selection and you had to go in today, You don't know if it's Diddy trial or not, but you making sure you show up because if I was a New York City resident and I had jury selection, oh yeah, I'm showing up there. I'm showing up there. I'm trying to get on this one. I'm trying to get on this trial right here. This right here, I won't say the trial of the century, but it's gonna be up there. It's gonna be the trial of the damn 25. I tell you that. 24, 25, some of the wildest shit. This is definitely a trial that I would, the hell with my job. I'm gonna go up here for the 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight on money anyway. Go up here for the 8 weeks, get my little $25 a day, pay close attention, and as soon as this thing is over with, I'm writing a book about what I experienced in there. What was my reasoning behind going by, you know what I'm saying, going by either saying a nigga guilty or the nigga innocent. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing book. I'm about to do everything. Straight going to interviews after that. I'm about to turn my YouTube channel up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, you said it was an opportunity. Hey, this is my experience. When artists go through their life situations, what they do, they put it in their music. So if I want to write a book about my experience in my first court case, this shit, so be it. You know what I mean? I got jury selection one time, but I didn't get picked. But anyway, the trial is expected to take at least 8 weeks. If convicted, he faces the possibility of decades in prison. Several prospective jurors indicate that they have seen reports featuring a key piece of evidence in the case, a video of the hip hop mogul attacking one of his accusers in the Los Angeles hotel hallway in 2016, which is Cassie, which she will be taking the stand. One prospective juror described a still image he saw from a video as damning evidence. The woman was rejected from consideration. Now, of course, you can't go in there and lie, so I'd have to tell him I seen the video. Um, do I feel a certain type of way? Nah. You know what I mean? He paid, he did what he had to do, so I ain't got nothing to do with that. I can't judge them. I need whatever evidence they're gonna present. Now, if they bring it back up and I see it again, it is just in context. Okay, cool. It is what it is. I see that this nigga got a pass, but just going off right now, hey, I don't feel no certain type of way about it. She got $30 million for it. Not making light of the situation, but if I got my ass whooped and got $30 million, y'all can clown me, do whatever y'all want. I got paid for what happened to me. After another juror was dismissed, Combs asked for a bathroom break, telling the judge, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm a little nervous today." Yeah, you're going to be nervous, nigga. The 17-page indictment against Combs, which reads like a charging document filed against a mafia leader of the head of a drug gang, alleges that Combs engaged in 2 decades patterns of abusive behavior against women and others, with the help of people in his entourage and employees from his network of business. Now, remember, they're trying to get him with a RICO, but no one else is getting charged with this. Well, that's because a lot of these people, a lot of these associates, they already flipping. They already about to tell their information, just like Zeke. I'm gonna tell them what I know. So you got to think about it. They don't want you. They want the big fish. You might as well tell what you know. 9 times out of 10, most of these people, yeah, they were willing participants, but they were also doing it to keep a job. So you're like, man, I feared for my life. I feared for my job. I knew what Diddy was capable of. So if all of this stuff is true, which we've been hearing about it for decades, if all of it's true, then yeah, I mean, I feared for my life working for Diddy. I knew he was crazy. I knew he was going up beside niggas' heads. You know what I mean? Like, it's all alleged, but I mean, we seen the Cassie. So if he would do that to Cassie, I know the nigga wouldn't do that to me because hey, it is what it is. They're gonna have to kill me because I'm going back at it. But I mean, it is what it is. This is his situation. So I don't really want to hear the system is set up for us to fail. It may be, but in this situation, this is Diddy's doing. You know what I mean? This ain't got nothing to do with us black folk. This is on Diddy versus America. This is the United States. This ain't us. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Remember, he's Diddy. He ain't Sean Combs. He Diddy. So this is his life. Combs and his lawyer say he's innocent, and any group X was consensual. They say there was no effort to coerce people into things that they didn't want to do, and nothing that happened amounted to a criminal racket. Prosecutors say women were manipulated in drug-fueled X performances with male X workers that Combs called freak-offs. To women in line, prosecutors say Combs used a mix of influence and violence. He offered to boost their entertainment careers if they did what he asked, or cut them off if he didn't. And when he wasn't getting what he wanted, the indictment says Combs and his associates resorted to violent acts, including beatings, kidnappings, and arson. Once the indictment alleges he even dangled someone from a balcony. Now, if any of this is true here, this isn't the system is set up for us to fail. If any of it's true, if he hung you over a balcony, would you want us to get on here and say, oh man, suck that up, man? They just trying to bring down a black man. No, you wouldn't say that. If they hung your ass over a balcony, you'd be like, man, fuck Diddy. Now, all of this is alleged, but I'm just trying to say that's how I'm looking at it. I ain't got no dog in this fight. I never liked Diddy anyway. You know what I mean? Not saying I know him personally, but I was never like really a fan of the dude. He was always goofy to me, but hey, that's just me. Combs has acknowledged one episode of violence that is likely to be featured in trial. In 2016, a security camera recorded him beating his former girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie, in the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel. Cassie filed a lawsuit in late 2023 saying Combs had subjected her to years of abuse, including beatings and the R word. The Associated Press does not typically name people who say they've been actually abused unless they come forward publicly, as Cassie, whose legal name Cassandra Ventura did. Combs' attorney, Mark Anfalil, I don't know how we're just gonna call him Mark, lawyer Mark, has said Combs was not a perfect person and that there had been drug use and toxic relations, but said the actual activity between Combs and Cassie and other people were consensual. So one thing the judge, not the judge, the attorney is, all right, look, we not saying none of that stuff happened. It didn't happen. We just saying that Combs was on drugs. He was drunk. What kind of defense is that? And then Diddy already made that apology talking about, yeah, I was at a point in my life. Drugs, liquor is not an excuse. Maybe if you would have came out back then, hey, I'm addicted, I need to go to rehab and started documenting. But you can't just say, hey, I was whooping ass and taking names because I was drunk. You know what I mean? It just don't make any sense. Terrible defense. You could have paid me $100,000, Diddy. I could have got up there and said something better than this. He's not a perfect person. I want my lawyer to say Diddy is an angel. I need them to say that Diddy would never do anything. What you seen on there was something else that happened to cause that. I'm not saying my client was on drugs. My client was drinking. He ain't a perfect person. Because now we hear you say he ain't a perfect person. So that means all the imperfect things that he did that are alleged, we got to kind of look at it like, well, this nigga ain't a perfect person. They ain't even try to paint him as a good guy. You got to look at it from the jury. And then they got all white women or the prosecutors. Oh, yeah. They on your ass. They're going to be crying up there. They're going to be listening to the victim statements. That's enough. That's enough. You don't have to do anything. They're going to be showing emotion up there. The jury going to be seeing this. And we already know you not a perfect person. And you like to get drunk and high. So like, man, we looking at you like, nigga, you just a junkie with money, nigga. Oh, man. What up, Candy? Yeah, this is a terrible defense here. Let's see. Well, let's go back into we're just gonna go over the history of it. And the trial is the most serious in a long string of legal problems for Combs. Here we go. They always got to bring up your criminal past. I ain't got nothing on my criminal past. You know what I'm saying? Everything I got it removed, speeding tickets, never been convicted of any felonies or no misdemeanors or nothing. You know what I mean? I may have did some time just being held, you know what I'm saying? My due process. In 1999, he was charged with bursting into the offices of Interscope Records executive with his bodyguards and beating him with a champagne bottle and chair. The executive, Steve Stout, later asked prosecutors to go easy on Combs, who pleaded guilty to a lesser charge and took anger management class. So 99, we got an ass whooping with a champagne bottle. Later that same year, Combs was stopped by the police after he and his then girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez, fled a nightclub where 3 people were wounded by gunfire. Combs was acquitted of all charges related to the episode at the 2001 trial, but the rapper and his entourage, Jamal Sean, aka Oh, shibbity bobbity, was convicted in the shooting and served nearly 9 years in prison. We know that Sean has came out and said he didn't do it. The lady that was actually shot in the face said Diddy allegedly did it. So Sean already had his whole thing about that, and they allegedly paid him a couple $1 million and had a scholarship program down in Belize for Diddy to pay him off. But that's all alleged. Then in 2015, Combs was charged with assaulting someone with a weight room kettlebell at the University of California, Los Angeles, where his sons played football. His son was trash. Diddy paid a lot of money to get his son down there. We already got a video on my channel about um, which one was it? Justin Combs, sorry as hell in football. His dad went down there, wasn't giving him no play time because the nigga was trash. Diddy attacked him with a kettlebell, and he got charged with that. Combs said he was defending himself, and the prosecutors dropped the case. So that's a little update on Diddy right there. As far as what's going on leading up to where we are right now. So he should have claimed mental illness, defense, something like that. Other people. See, the thing is, he would have had to, I don't think that pleading mental health would work because we got a video of him apologizing. When you was apologizing, you just said you was messed up at the time. You didn't say you was like mentally ill. You just on drugs and drinking. But a mental illness wouldn't work here because they're gonna go off of we seen you executing like through all this time. We seen you doing TV shows, the band, Danny Lee Kane. We seen you doing all of it. You ain't had no mental illness then. You just had mental illness whenever you was whooping ass in X trafficking allegedly. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that would, I don't know, that would suck. Now they are trying to bring in an actual doctor, like a psychiatrist or something, but the psychiatrist, from what I was reading, cannot testify on behalf of what Diddy did or what Diddy was capable of because they weren't there. But they can just get up there and say, yeah, drinking can hinder your thought process and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Just the overall. But I don't think they can do anything about what Diddy did because they weren't there in those years. Is trash in the documents? What you mean? So I don't know what's in the documents. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Now I'm trying to find an actual Twitter page that has like all the updates. Give me a second. And next we're gonna go into the names. I'm gonna try to do like an hour and a half daily like updates. I know I'm gonna be behind because it's going on and it's in the evening for me, and I got other shows I gotta do. But I'm definitely gonna try to do at least a video a day of the Diddy trial and just give updates on it. Let me see. Let me find a page that's giving us current. Oh boy. Oh, and I think respectfully. Oh yeah, his son is trash in football. I got a whole 25-30 minute video where we were breaking down that whole case when Diddy first got arrested. Yeah, we did the whole thing. We were watching highlights. He's trash. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it out. He's like 5'8". He's trash. You know what I mean? Not saying being short, you trash. I'm saying he was trash. He was 5'8" and terrible. But let me see what we got. We're gonna call him Sean Combs. He's no longer Diddy right now. Actually, we need his inmate number. Someone can find me Diddy's inmate number. Uh, we'll be calling him that from here on out. All right. So next we're gonna go over the names that are being dropped. Hey man, they got this big ass damn advertisement on here. I don't know who Mike Jeffrey is, so I couldn't tell you what the difference is between those two. I don't know who Mike Jeffries is. Let me see. Let me see. Diddy's trial live updates. Mike Myers and Michael B. Jordan are named as jury selection begins in disgraced rapper's case. They call him a disgraced rapper. Jurors who will determine the fate of Sean Diddy Combs in the ex trafficking trial will be selected from New York City today. Combs, 55, has pleaded not guilty on all counts, insisting that any ex acts were consensual, but prosecutors say for years he coerced women and victims, women and men, into drug fueled ex parties using threats and violence. Potential jurors were shown binders with names and places related to the case on Monday. One of them said they recognized actor Michael B. Jordan, and comedian Mike Myers on the list. So they got a whole binder full. Now, again, these names, they're not saying that they were participants or victims. These are just given names in different locations. So I guess, hey, at this party, there was this celebrity here to show credence to anyone that's taking the stand and saying, oh, yeah, I was there because this person was there. You know what I mean? This is just the feds like, hey, no, we got all these names, all these locations, all these places. Maybe the freak off started after they left or things of that nature. The music mogul has been held in Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center since he was arrested on federal charges in New York in September of last year. Jury selection is expected to wrap up in about a week, with opening statements tentatively scheduled for May 12th. The proceedings are estimated to last 8 to 10 weeks. So 2 months to 2.5 months is how long this case should take place. Now, that's a lot, and there's going to be a lot of information coming out. A lot of names are going to be dropped. I'm sure we're going to we probably won't see the videos until after the case is over with. Diddy did turn down a plea, but we're going to see a lot. It's about to be this is about to be real messy. They about to bring up a lot of names of a lot of crap. Inmate number 054. Oh, Lord, that's a long ass number. 37452. We're gonna call him 054, Mr. 54. 1 year younger than his age. All right. Mike Myers and Michael B. Jordan are the first celebrities named in Diddy's trial. The first two celebrities to be named at Diddy's trial were Mike Myers and Michael B. Jordan. Their names are read out loud to a potential juror from a list of people and places that may come up throughout the trial. The juror, a man who works as a licensed massage therapist, said he only knew the two through their acting. The judge said that the list of people and places runs several pages and felt like an appendix from The Lord of the Rings. To speed up the process, he ruled that jurors would be given a list to review before they are brought into the court in question, one by one, before they seat a final panel of 12 jurors and 6 alternates. So basically, yeah, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Myers' name are in. Again, they're not saying that these are victims or people that were participating. They're just giving a binder full of people's names that were probably at parties prior to a freak off starting. So if you can say, I was at this party, I seen Michael B. Jordan there, or I seen Michael Myers. It's just giving credence to the witnesses. See, this is where the feds are different. The feds are taking every single angle. You may beat the RICO, you may beat the ex trafficking, but are you going to beat drugging people? You see what I'm saying? Are you going to beat kidnapping people? Are you going to beat abusing people? See, the feds are totally different. They not just fixated on one thing. They're going to hit you with all these charges and they're going to max them out. And then they're going to just start knocking them off. That's just how the feds play. Now, you can't say, hey, man, that's wrong how they doing it. Diddy did this to himself. Ain't none of us sitting around catching no RICOs or no ex trafficking. We ain't doing no stupid shit like that. We not even doing nothing similarly close to this shit. You know what I mean? Like, no. Yeah, the FBI different. Because this FBI, Homeland Security, they have everybody on this. The DEA is involved because of the drugs they found. Everybody, and everybody's giving them information. We don't know what witnesses we have. We don't know Who's about to be up here telling? You got former employees. Man, you remember there was a lady that got paid off, that chef where like Diddy was walking around naked. That was years ago. She got paid off. It's all kinds of evidence that they got. And they just gonna be online piecing together all these stories that they getting. I mean, I don't it's on him. It is on him. All right. To speed up the process, he ruled that jurors would be given a list to review before they are brought into the court and questioned one by one. So this binder, I don't know how many pages this binder is, but they got like 600 people showing up to this. So if all 600 are getting the binder, to narrow it down to 12 jurors and 6 alternates, 18 people. Oh man, it's about to be wild. You know, they can't talk about anything, but I'm pretty sure some of these people are somebody's gonna expose who they seen in there. We already know people are gonna be talking. That's definitely something about humans. You know what I mean? It's gonna be someone on here. Oh yeah, man, I've seen the names on there. They're gonna be releasing information. So this is gonna be real messy. A lot of people are gonna be exposed. It says the comments allude to the scale of the case, which dates back to 2004 and covers multiple states. That's where the feds will get you, multiple states. Diddy struts into the courtroom, hands in his pocket as the court begins. Monday kicked off a highly anticipated ex-trafficking trial against Sean Diddy Combs, who strutted into court today with a preppy look, shedded his usual dark tan prison-issued uniform. Diddy came in there with glasses on, the gray hair. Here we go. They talk about the freak offs. The freak offs are the center of the claims against Diddy. Combs has been accused of a range of freak offs described as elaborate produced X performances, arranged and directed by Combs while he got one off and often recorded them. His indictment stated that some freak offs will last for days, requiring Combs and victims to receive IV fluids to recover from the exertion and drug use. He pleaded not guilty to charges of X trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Well, we know for sure Cassie already said in her case that you paid her off, that you would go to different cities and she would have to call and pay for people. People were being flown in. So it's looking ugly. Combs' lawyer explained that the rapper was found with so many bottles of baby oil in his home because the star likes to buy in bulk, like any other American. Nigga, the most I've ever seen baby oil in bulk was a 2-pack. Couple thousand bottles of baby oil isn't in bulk. Nigga, that's a whole factory. Like the most I've seen is some Johnson & Johnson baby oil. You get the 2-pack from Walmart or something. You go to Sam's Club. I ain't never seen 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Just, hey, buy in bulk. No, where's he getting them for 35 cents a piece? I don't know about 1,000 being a bulk. Like, nigga, that's a lot. You could fill up a swimming pool. His lawyer also disputed that there were as many as 1,000 bottles of baby oil seized from his client. What? His lawyer also disputed that there was as many as 1,000 bottles of baby oil seized from his client, Sean Combs, during the federal raid. So he's probably trying to say it wasn't 1,000, Your Honor. It was 878. That's what he's just trying to dispute that it wasn't as many as 1,000. It may have been like 950, maybe 700, but they just rounding up. Like they're gonna have the official number when they get in there. So this lawyer, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a doctor, but this lawyer just sounds, I don't know, man. I need to know, man, they got to be charging Diddy 10,000, like he probably like fucking $3,000 an hour, man. They screwing Diddy over. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got to get you some better representation. Now he has allegedly 8 lawyers that came in with him, and I can probably see that's why he's still hiring lawyers, because this just sounds terrible. All right, listen up, guys. It wasn't 1,000 bottles of jury. It wasn't 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It was, let me get the correct number here. It was 948 bottles. All right, it wasn't 1,000. The feds will have you believe that it was 1,000, but it wasn't. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you disputing that it was as many as 1,000? Come on, man. That just sounds stupid. It wasn't 1,000. It was less. But nigga, what was the baby oil for? Oh, just because he wanted to buy in bulk? Get the fuck out of here. All right, so here's the timeline of the allegations from the baby oil freak offs to the Cassie video. Heralded for decades, the rap royalty Sean Diddy Combs now lives alone in the isolation shell in a notorious New York City jail, deemed too much of a threat to the community by authorities to be let out, even offering a $50 million bond. It's a stunning fall for one of the It's All About the Benjamins rappers who once was hip hop's wealthiest and most influential mogul. But if the Fed's allegations are true, it may just be all the unlimited cash, unchecked power, and Hollywood privilege that goes along with that landed Diddy where he sits now, facing a slew of racketeering, conspiracy, and ex-trafficking charges that accuse him of presiding over a sordid empire of ex-crimes and physical abuse. The thing is, conspiracy. They ain't really got to prove it. They just got to say, it seems like it. You know what I mean? This isn't like a murder where it's like, hey, da 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 da. We can just get him on conspiracy. We ain't got to get him on nothing else. But we still don't know what all they're gonna show. You know, they got the Kid Cudi car being destroyed. That's part of the arson charge that he got. So this dude's overall, he's screwed. All right, man. We're not gonna really go over all the freak offs again. We know what's going on with the freak offs. There's some still shots of that. The mansion was raided. We got the names dropped. There's actually more names. I'm gonna try to find those for you. All right, let me see. No, not the judge. All right, here we go. Maybe here we go. Maybe. What y'all think, man? Like, they messing with Diddy or they got some actual evidence? What y'all think? They got some real evidence or they just messing with Diddy right now? You think they ain't got nothing on Diddy? This is some wild shit though, man. If all of this is true, this is going to be one of the worst fall offs we've ever seen. Now I know a lot of people say they don't do the white guys like this. They actually do, but let's be honest. We not on their websites. We not on social media looking at white people entertainment. Like we don't care. We looking at our people stuff. But like the whole Jeffrey Epstein, that was a huge big case. But when you're looking at, you know what I'm saying, black media, they not really talking about that. They're gonna be talking about black shit. And we see what's happening to Diddy right now. You know what I mean? But this is happening to white folks. Hell, Jeffrey Epstein and Giselle, they both locked or one, he RIP, but this shit happens. Also, what happened with Abercrombie and Finch? So it goes on. It's just who's following up. There's headlines of it, but who's following it up? Those people don't have as big of a name as Diddy. See, Diddy was out front. He was flashy with it. You know what I mean? Everybody knew Diddy. If you don't want your producer all in the background, see, Diddy had to be seen. Diddy had to be known. Diddy not only wanted the power, he wanted money, power, and respect, what you need in life. That's what he wanted. He wanted it all. He wanted the limelight. Look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z got in all this, but he said, shit, I ain't had nothing to do with it. What did he do? Get a lawyer. Applied that pressure. See, Diddy had all kinds of skeletons in his closet. And then Cassie is the one that revealed everything. See, Jay-Z's with Beyonce. They married. Beyonce can't take the stand against him. Not saying that he got anything going on, but whatever they got, they keep that in-house. They can't go against each other. Diddy, you out here all alone. You done already screwed over thousands of people. So it's a whole bunch of people out here that want to get even with you, that have nothing to lose. You ain't paid me in years, nigga. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. I'm gonna take the stand on your ass. You would mistreat me, but I had to stay around because I needed a job because my lifestyle was according to what I was getting paid with you. I had to stick around. But guess what? When those cases start dropping, I gotta tell them what I know. I'm not going to jail for this shit. That's just life. There's no such thing as a real one. Let's just be real. Yeah, you got people that'll be in this and they ain't gonna tell on nobody. They can consider themselves real all they want. They gonna really be behind bars. I'm not really about to be behind bars because I'm not doing no stupid shit. I'm not taking a stand. Like, I'll do a civil case against Diddy, try to get me a couple M, but I'm not taking a stand to get this nigga locked up. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Now, if I gotta sue this nigga for money that's old, there's a whole different story. I'm in there, fresh suit on. Yes, sir. He did, sir. Never got paid. Oh, yeah, I'm in there. If it's silver, but for this, oh hell no, I'm getting up here because then people gonna start digging into your background. I ain't got nothing to hide, but still, I don't need y'all. He went to school here. His parents had a real good marriage. Hell no, my parents were married after I was born. They got married when my little brother was born, but I was in the hood before my mama moved in with my daddy. All right, yeah, Harvey Weinstein, he's back in there right now. But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of this happens for everybody. It's just they aren't in the light like this. We've seen Diddy our whole lives. So it's like, damn, Diddy? Did he do it? You see what I'm saying? And then we know 50 Cent. 50 Cent trolls him the whole time. So it's just always in our face nonstop. Unlike other people, we don't see it because we don't know who the fuck this guy is. If it wasn't for movies, like if Harvey Weinstein, before we used to see his name and stuff, but before all these stories came out, you would see Weinstein at the end of a movie. He didn't know or care who the hell that was. It wasn't until the celebrities got attached to it, and then the cases started coming out. But all right, let's get on to this, to the jury and them coming out here. They definitely got something. They got a lot of something on them. So, all right. Diddy's first day on trial. All right. It looked like it's crazy out there too, man. They lined up for days. Let me see. What we got? Oh, this got all right. We'll keep that one up there. Diddy's first day on trial has a massive crowd of people lining up outside the courtroom. Jury selection in Diddy's trial kicked off today, a process that the defense predicts will be difficult due to it is going to be difficult because of the bias. We all know who Diddy is. The Diddy scandal became one of the biggest pop culture stories in recent years. So it's only natural that people would have a keen interest in seeing for themselves. Today, Monday, May 5th, his federal criminal trial began, and a whole lot of people want to be in that courtroom. See, everyone knows Diddy. It's different. Like, we don't know Harvey Weinstein for a damn thing but movies and messing with people. According to TMZ, a whole mob of people made a line outside of a federal courthouse in Manhattan today just to get a chance to attend the trial. Per the outlet, some people started lining up the previous night to save spots for people who are paying them for their patience. One individual reportedly told the publication that he's making the line for around $25 an hour. So, all right, you go overnight, 10 hours, $250. 12 hours, 300 just to get in there. Now, the people that are getting in here that are paying this 25, they either got YouTube, they either got like their own websites and things. So they're going to be making a lot of money off it if they willing to spend $300, $400 for people to just wait in line for them. So this is about to be one of the most storied cases we've seen in a while. It has the potential for Diddy to go away for life. So it's like one of the moguls that we've seen. And then not only that, there's 60 other lawsuits that are out there. So that $1 billion that he used to have is gone. All of it's gone. It's Just know after this trial, in these cases, Diddy will no longer be a billionaire. You know, he'll still maybe have like a million, couple $1,000,000, because I know a lot of stuff is in his mother's name, but they're suing all entities. So yeah, that $1 billion network, man, it's gone. It's already gone, probably. Other social media clips show just how big this line is. And if you see plenty of discussion about it on your preferred internet platform, we will see how the rest of the trial days shape up and whether or not the court will address this demand in any way. Basically saying, are they going to give us a bigger courtroom? Are they going to move it? But the judge is going to ultimately make that decision. Like, nah, I want my courtroom right here. We're not about to have all that records. Hey, y'all come in here and sit down. The judge is probably going to be throwing people out. Any kind of talking, any electrical devices. Nah, they about to be on it for this trial. They definitely aren't trying to have anything leaked. This is a Fed case. This isn't the state. This is the Fed. So if you do anything in this one, oh, you're not just getting kicked out and not coming back. They're probably hitting you with some kind of charges. For those unaware, Diddy's trial began jury selection today, which is the defense thinks will be a difficult process. Reportedly expressed skepticism about a truly unbiased jury, given the case massive media proliferation. Nevertheless, until the court confirms 12 jurors and 6 alternates, we will not hear opening statements, which were scheduled to begin Monday, May 12th. So they want a whole week. B5 claims Diddy sabotaged the Disney deal. Oh, man, there's about to be so much stuff that went to the Jonas Brothers. All right, so here goes some footage of the people sitting outside. Yeah, there's people on both sides. Oh, that's just people sitting outside waiting. All right, so we got people outside waiting, and then people actually in the court for jury selection. If you're a bit confused about what the specific trial entails, we got you covered. Diddy's facing criminal trial and has 5 specific charges. These are 2 counts of X trafficking, 2 counts of transportation to engage in P-tuition, and 1 count of racketeering. He and his legal team have denied any and all accusations of criminal wrongdoing. We will see how the prosecution cohort handles this case as it presents their alleged evidence. On the other hand, Puff's defense team will attempt to provide or prove his supposed innocence by speaking to his lifestyle. In any case, we doubt that the line to get in the courtroom will diminish over the course of this trial. In fact, once things really get going, we expect it to get even more big and rowdy. So it's saying that they're trying to say, hey, man, he's innocent because this is what celebrities do. Freak offs are a normal occurrence. It's nothing out of the norm to have, you know what I'm saying, big orgies with consenting adults. I'll say this. In Diddy's defense, the prosecution has more opportunities to mess up. The case is so big, it's so many different angles that can be taken. They can definitely mess up. It's just going to be how Diddy's defense team goes. I'm looking at it like it's going to be a game of runs. In the beginning, it's probably going to look like, damn, Diddy guilty as hell. He might have a moment, though, about midway where we're like, okay, Diddy got a W this time. But I think ultimately it's going to come down to probably like out of the 5 charges, I think probably 4 out of 5. He might beat the racketeering because it's just him. But I think all the other ones, he's probably cooked. I think he's probably done. Like that, I don't know, man. Well, that's what it's looking like there. Let me see what this lady's name is. Reporter for 1010 AM, Radio New York. So everybody's trying to get in here. Let me see. Does she got anything else on Diddy? All right, so this tweet here says, in the Diddy trial, jury selection, a 30-year-old teacher was asked if she knew about the case. She said, like the comedian's post on Instagram joking about baby oil. So everybody knows about this. There's nobody in America that hasn't heard of Sean P. Diddy, Papa Daddy Puff, or anything of that nature. Everyone knows about Diddy. So it's going to be tough to find people that are unbiased or heard about this actual case, unless you're getting some. And that's where things, what he's being accused of, even if you were to get like an older white woman or something, once she hears all of this, she's like, damn, that's some wild shit. Once they hear about what happened to Cassie, damn, that's some wild shit. And if you're a black person, we all know Diddy. Everyone's heard something about Diddy. My parents heard about Diddy. My parents even, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always some music that you may have heard Diddy had remade stuff. My only thing is, he shouldn't have done any of this, man. All of it's catching up to him. That's the only thing I can say, man. There's really, it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. Oh, let me see. All right. So they also got we got Diddy allegedly blowing up Kid Cudi's car. Um Diddy allegedly blew up Kid Cudi's car. Combs allegedly blew up the car of fellow rapper Kid Cudi after he found out he was in a relationship with his ex-girlfriend Cassie. R&B singer Cassie filed a lawsuit in Manhattan's Federal District Court in 2023, which she accused the rapper who goes by P. Diddy of R and repeated physical abuse. She claimed Diddy 54 controlled and abused her over a decade, um, as well as plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with multiple male P-toots while he watched, got one off and recorded. The lawsuit was the beginning of Combs' legal demise. We got a potential juror is dismissed over work at major book publisher. A potential juror was dismissed on Monday because they worked as a marketing officer with a major publishing company. They said they are working with another hip hop figure, Al B. Sure, who was close friends with Diddy, with Diddy's ex and the mother of his children, with Kim Porter, which is, he's trying to write a book. He said something that happened to him. So he was out of commission. Kim Porter's ex says her secret diary is a real bombshell and new claims. Kim Porter's ex, I'll be sure, reveals an explosive documentary set to come out next week that Porter thought Diddy's soul had gone completely dark before her ultimate untimely death at 47. So he's about to have a damn documentary come out next week. He's been holding on. You see what I'm saying? He's been holding on his documentary, waiting for the trial. You got jury selection, and watch next week opening statements. Probably right after the opening statements, boom, the documentary is going to drop that day. He's probably going to have a statement on Facebook, Instagram, where it's going to be talking about everything that he went through, and to be sure to check out the documentary. See, everyone is they planning it out. Boom, 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 boom. Diddy, the making of a bad boy. So he's about to drop a documentary. We know 50's about to drop a documentary. TMZ's probably gonna put something else out. CNN's probably gonna put together something. There's about to be 1,000 videos on YouTube. So if you do have YouTube, I do recommend these next 8 weeks, depending on what you want your channel to be on. If it is over like celebrity news and stuff, even I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm about to try to do a daily video on Diddy because it's about to be an algorithm for the next 2 months. Like, it's gonna be clockwork. It's always gonna be something. So if you're looking to start a YouTube, this will be something. You don't want to miss out on this. This would be more concise because there's nothing in the court that you can see. So it's just going to be all reports. Boom, boom, boom. And trust me, the reports are going to be coming out all day, every day. We already heard about 3 to 5 jurors that were already dismissed just today. Now, this is the beginning of 600 to 700 people to try to get it down to 12. And jury selection might roll over 1 week. Now, this is a federal case. This isn't the state of Georgia. This ain't that. This judge here ain't about to be playing around. This judge here ain't about to have jury selection for 3 months. This judge here, they about to be cracking it down. Feds, they work differently. They trying to get your ass in and out. Now, Diddy did turn down the plea. Maybe if it starts getting ugly before the end of this jury selection, they start seeing what's really out there, and everyone heard about this case, they might be offering, hey, prosecutors, is that deal still on the table? Is there any way we can negotiate? Prosecutors probably gonna be like, nah, we offered you this, we offered you 30 years, you turned it down. What we can do now is 50 years. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to see how this plays out. But definitely, if you're doing content right now, Diddy's name is about to be that thing's about to be on fire for the next 10 weeks. Diddy's childhood trauma was exposed by best friend ahead of trial. Nestled in the sprawling suburbia of New York, a home was with well-kept hedgerows and blooming spring flowers is quite the quintessential model of an American residence. Yeah, a rich person. But this mid-century spit-level home in Mount Vernon holds dark secrets that could explain the lead up to the gut-churning accusations of the disgraced mogul, Sean Diddy, who faces as he waits behind bars for his ex-trafficking trial to kick off on Monday. This is Diddy's childhood home, where neighbors told Daily Mail that they witnessed wild parties there thrown by his mother, Janice Combs, that could have been the inspiration for his later life debauchery. So they're saying his mama used to throw pre-freak offs at this house. Diddy's neighbors from his time living in Mount Vernon, New York, claims his mom, Janice Combs, threw wild parties that may have been the catalyst for his freak off romps later in his life. All right, so this is just like his earlier times. Several potential jurors say they have seen news on Diddy's case. All right, this is what we already went over. Diddy told the judge he was nervous midway through the process. Damn, whoever this sketch artist is terrible. His legal team requested a bathroom break. When the judge asked if they could carry on, Diddy put his hands on Diddy put up his hand and said, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm a little nervous today." Yeah, you weren't nervous when you were stealing all them niggas' money. What up, RC? Potential jurors did not show reaction to Diddy. All right. So they did say when Diddy came in, he gets to see who the jurors are, especially when they selected. They saying he was like mean mugging. They saying Diddy was in there mean mugging some of the jurors, but none of them flinched. They said ain't nobody scared of Diddy no more. Back in the day, you didn't want to look Diddy in the eyes. That's what they say. Back in the day, you didn't want to look Diddy's way. You look Diddy's way, you might end up in a freak off or in a body bag, allegedly. But they saying the jurors they ain't scared of Diddy. They looking at Diddy. They ain't backing down to nothing. Potential jurors did not show reaction to Diddy. Hundreds of prospective jurors have reportedly already filled out questionnaires designed to elicit any bias that they may have about the case. It says none of the first group, consisting of more than 50 jurors, reacted when told that Diddy would be the defendant. So again, remember I was saying you got jury duty. Today, you going in because it's like you might be on the Diddy trial, or you might get the little trial down the hallway where it's like, it might be just like a little case or something. Somebody might be suing somebody, suing like the government because, in like an unsafe workplace or something. You know what I mean? You might be getting jury duty for that, thinking that you going to the Diddy trial. But they were led into the court, and as they did so, Diddy turned to face them and eyeballed them slowly. None of them appeared to recognize him, and they didn't react when the judge explained the charges and read out a number of Diddy's names. There was no reaction when the judge said that among the questions the jury would have to answer, whether hearing evidence about ex-assault, including R, hiring ex-workers and having multiple ex-partners, would make them unable to serve. Diddy stands as attorney before the U.S. District Judge to observe the pool of potential jurors entering his ex-trafficking trial in New York City. Why they got what's that show? What's that show on Disney? Um, with the little black girl, not Kylie, Kayla Pratt. What's that show? Not Family Matters. Proud Family. Why they got Daddy? Why they got Diddy looking like the daddy off of the Proud Family? This ain't no Diddy. If I was to look at this, I would not know that this is Diddy in court. Who is this? The best sketch artist y'all got? Like, this don't look like. Let me see. I don't even want to open up now. Yeah, this is what they got Diddy looking like. All right. Diddy faces life in prison if convicted. Diddy faces 5 serious federal charges: racketeering, conspiracy, 2 counts of ex-trafficking, 2 counts of transportation of individuals for prostitution. If convicted, the one-time rap producer and global superstar, who is often credited for his role in ushering hip-hop into mainstream, could spend the rest of his life in prison. The judge compares his case binder to the Lord of the Rings appendix. The judge said at the start of the jury selection process that the binder containing names and places related to the case was akin to an appendix in the Lord of the Rings. So he's making jokes. The judge is making jokes that there's a lot of names and locations. Now, if the judge is in here cracking jokes like, hey, it's gonna be a lot. You going through that binder. He said they're gonna give this binder of names in they're going to give a binder of celebrity names for each person to go through. And if they know anything about those people, they could potentially throw you out on that. So if the judge is cracking jokes about this, it ain't looking good. Now, when all of this is brought to court, you got the grand jury. There was enough evidence for the grand jury to indict. The judge is, the judge looks at all of this also. And there's enough for the judge to say, okay, we can keep this. You got to throw that out. So if the judge is making jokes, that's a bad sign. I mean, the judges are unbiased. They're not the ones determining if you innocent or guilty. All they doing is presenting it to the jury. The jury say if you innocent or guilty, and then they give you the time. But the judge is talking about, it's like the Lord of the Rings over here. Now, I ain't no Lord of the Rings fan, but I know a lot of people were screwed in the Lord of the Rings. I know a little bit about Harry Potter. All right. So here goes some of the questions posed to the potential jurors. Have you read about the case? Yes. Have you ever been involved in a lawsuit? Yes. Have you worked for law enforcement? No. Have you ever been accused of a crime? When you say accused of a crime, do you mean like took to court over it or just accused? Because like I've been accused of like taking somebody's pencil off their desk. Technically, that's stealing. So are we saying accused as far as going to court? I need clarification on that because I've never been convicted of a crime. I've been accused of a crime. I've been accused of speeding. I've been accused of parking tickets. I beat a couple of speeding tickets, but I was accused on, like, what do we mean here? Have you ever been a victim of a crime? Everybody's been a victim of a crime. I never reported it. Do you have views of artists in the hip hop community? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Have you ever been impacted by allegations of R or intimate partner violence? No, negative. So Diddy's family did not show up to court today. The rapper's children and mother did not appear to have shown up to the beginning of Diddy's trial. Several of Diddy's children, as well as his mother, have attended pre-trial hearings, but were not seen in court entering on Monday. His sons, Christian Combs and Justin Combs, have spoken out in support of their father. Combs' children, Chance, left and right, and Christina and the mother, Janice Combs, departed pre-trial hearing in the Southern District of New York, federal court in New York, March 14th. So about 2 months ago. Janice Combs, right, the mother, Sean Combs, and around in the court. All right, blah, 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 blah. Diddy's secret trial weapon revealed as he prepares for the fight of his life. He's hired a secret weapon for his ex-trafficking trial. The long-awaited trial of Diddy in New York today. The jury selection of rap moguls has a secret weapon up his sleeve in hopes of swaying the jury. So all of this is going over the, okay, here we go. Jury privacy discussed as trial begins. The judge, the prosecution, and defense have been conferring on the best way to question the jurors to maintain anonymity, my bad. As reported by Inner City Press, potential jurors would be allowed to answer certain questions privately if they asked to do so. They are expected to be questioned on how much they know about the case, as well as experiences with ex abuse. Over 100 potential jurors will be considered. As many as 150 people will be brought into the federal court to be questioned as potential jurors in Diddy's criminal trial. The potential jurors will be questioned by the judge as well as the prosecution and defense. Jury selection process is expected to last 3 days, which will lead us up to Wednesday. Thursday, they should be done. Opening statements should be on Monday, but I'm assuming that Thursday and Friday is just in case they got to go over. So opening statements by the lawyers should start. Testimony are expected next week. And then who are the prosecutors? The lead prosecutors are Emily Ann Johnson. Just listen to these names. Listen to these names. One of the prosecutors, Emily Ann Johnson, guilty. Madison Reddick Samster, guilty. Mary Christine Salvik, guilty. This one right here is really going to get you a guilty verdict. Meredith Foster, Meredith, that prosecutor right there, that name alone is going to get you a guilty verdict. And Mitzi Steiner. Oh yeah, these five look like they about to put a white woman hurting on Diddy. Again, I ain't got no fight in this, but these names, oh yeah, they about. It's one thing these white women ain't about to do. They ain't about to play with no nigga. I tell you that. Emily Ann Johnson look like she leading them. Let's see what these ladies look like. You know what I'm saying? Not to throw them out there or anything, but this is public knowledge. We are the people. You know what I'm saying? They are serving us, so we can know who the prosecutors are. You know what I mean? They start, our tax dollars are going to this, so we need to know if Diddy's guilty. We need to know that we are paying top dollar for these prosecutors to find him guilty. Now, if he's innocent, he's paying top dollars for his lawyer, but we are the people, unfortunately. So let me see what Emily Ann Johnson looks like. Assistant U.S. Attorneys, Emily A. Johnson. All right. The Trinitarios gang member convicted of murdering confidential informant. Federal prosecutors said the gang member was convicted on Thursday, October 12th, for deleting a confidential informant. Damian Williams, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. What? Oh, so Damian Williams was the CI for the U.S. Attorney's Southern District of New York. made an announcement last week. William Jones, aka Principe, was convicted by a jury of racketeering, conspiracy, murder, in aid of racketeering and firearms offenses in his role. So I guess she was on this. Well, I guess that'd be an open and shut case right there. Like if you know that they murdered him. Let's see what Madison Reddick did. Also, she's from Texas, but let's see. Assistant U.S. Attorney. Are any of them as good as Angela Valdez? It's a question, though. Oh, yeah. Look at Madison, y'all. Madison Reddick. You know she about that. Madison couldn't wait for a case like this. She went to Harvard. She been doing this since 21. She was a judicial law clerk in New York. So she been around New York Department of Justice, intern criminal division. So she got a little bit of working with the DOJ. Shit. Final defendant sentenced in connection with $1.3 million fraud scheme involving U.S. postal employees. So she was in on this. So Damian Williams must have been the U.S. Okay, he was a U.S. attorney. So everybody was up under Damian Williams. So old girl, like, what was the first lady's name? So Emily, she was up under the gang thing. Damian Williams was the attorney. She was the assistant. So we got Damian's been training. We need to find out who Damian Williams is because all of them are coming up under him. We know who Damian. Oh man, we know who Damian Williams is. We spoke about Damian. Yeah, Damian Williams. Yeah, we were speaking about him because he was stepping down with. Oh man, yeah, Damian Williams was a bad mother effer up in New York. So he had all them up under him. Let's see. Mary Christine Salvik. Let's see what she done. Diddy's prosecution is all white women led by a former FBI. I'm trying to find out. All right, I ain't seeing nothing for Mary. Let's see what her LinkedIn is talking about. She was a court reporter at one time. Is this her? Nah, that's Mary Salve. Oh man. All right, Diddy. Good luck, brother. Meredith Foster. Let's just see what she last is. Parties for the United States versus Branch. Meredith Foster was on there. Meredith Foster was also in this Damian Williams because he was assigning them to his 70 defendants charged today. Demanded over $2 million in bribe money from contractors in exchange for giving out $13 million worth of work. Oh, yeah. So, that, I mean, they've done a lot of financial cases. So they did the 1.3 million, the fraud, the unemployment benefits. That went through the postal service, so you know that's going to be a federal charge. Yeah, I ain't really seeing too much. In conjunction with prosecutors, assistant. All right, on November 4th. Oh yeah, we all right. Well, we good. We good. All right. Well, yeah, it ain't looking good, man. They got an all white lineup. Now, the only time an all white lineup ever really worked was back in the 60s and 70s, but even then, Bill Russell and them were whooping their ass. But this is this is the DOJ starting five here. Five white women to bring down Diddy. Now, we'll see where that goes. Diddy's legal team asked for gag orders on victims' attorneys on the eve of trial. In a letter filed Tuesday, Combs' attorneys said despite their prior request for a gag order, several attorneys who represent alleged victims and witnesses continue to muddy the jury pool with negative publicity towards their client. Combs' team specifically named Douglas Wigdor, who represents Combs' ex Cassie Ventura, for speaking to the media. Absent a court order, we expect the publicity to not only continue, but escalate as the trial commences. They wrote in a letter to the U.S. judge. Indeed, recent weeks, lawyers for government witnesses have commented on pretrial litigation and continue to broadcast prejudicial statements. They pointed to Wigdor's comments concerning Combs' request to keep the surveillance video of the rapper pulling and dragging Ventura by her hair in Los Angeles hallway. So they don't want that. They don't want any of the lawyers for any of these victims to be talking anymore because it's like people can hear that. Technically, they're supposed to tune all of it out, but they aren't officially the jurors yet. So they can still listen to the news. Once they get selected, they got to turn everything off. Can't listen to anything. But that's where we're at right now. That's the most update. We got names dropped. And it's not looking good. I mean, there's really nothing else we can really say. I'm going to try to find some updates. And let's see. What y'all thinking? Life, maybe 20 years. What's the minimum amount of time you think Diddy's gonna get if he's found guilty? Like I said, do I believe he did it? I know what he did to Cassie for sure. And if he paid Cassie upwards of 30 to 50 M to keep that secret, then I'm pretty sure what she was saying is true. Because if it wasn't, then oh well, take this shit to court. But I mean, I know you do pay to make stuff go away, but now she's willing to testify. So it's kind of like, hey, bro. Do I believe that the trial not being televised would help or hurt Diddy's case? Well, this is Fed time. So just having a Fed case, that already isn't helping you. Just having a Fed case already isn't helping you. You know what I mean? Because you got to look at it like this. Everything that's about to be divulged, other crimes can pop out of this. Now, I'm going to try to find the article that talks about Diddy potentially taking the stand. Now, this is a criminal. This isn't civil case. This is a criminal case. As a criminal defendant, you never want to take the stand unless it's like self-defense or something. But I'm going to try to find the article because I was reading, where is it? Or I was listening to it earlier today. But this being a Fed case, you're already screwed from the get-go. The feds aren't just popping up with no information. Now, the feds did also say, we ain't even got to use Cassie's tape. That means they got some other evidence. They got Cassie willing to testify. So everything that was put into that lawsuit, that was just put in the lawsuit. Now we get to elaborate on that. There was an incident that happened. Okay, what else happened? Now she gets to go in detail. she might be on the stand for 3 days, 4 days. You see what I'm saying? So regardless, if this was televised, it wouldn't make any difference. It would just look bad for him. His, like, there's nothing he can do. We already don't. To be honest, up until this case started and he got, like, when he first got locked up, like, damn, it was a big deal. But be real. Put a one in the chat if over the last 2 months you just thought about Diddy randomly, like, you know what? Diddy's locked up. No, you didn't. You didn't care. No one cared until this trial started. You see what I'm saying? It was okay. New stuff was popping up, but after a while, we just block it out. It's like, okay, he got 100 cases. he got bigger things to worry about. Rent's due on the 1st. None of us give a damn about what happens to Diddy. If he get locked up, he get locked up. If he get off, he get off. If he get off, he's still gonna be rich. If he go down, he's gonna lose everything. But guess what? Our rent is still due on the 1st, and no one gives a shit what happens to Diddy. Now you got the conspiracy theorists, the court is set up for us to fail. That may be true, but in this case, there's evidence against them. So let's let the evidence play out, and we'll see what it is. But if they saying that everything that he's doing and it turns out that he did it, I'm not going to say the court was set up against Diddy. Because when you go to court and you sue somebody and you win money, can we say that the court was set up unfairly for that person to lose so you could win? Yeah, I mean, black people do get punished more. I'm no way denying that. But I'm just saying, in certain situations, he put himself in this. We ain't tell him to do that to Cassie. Just think, if that would have never been recorded, then there may have not been this case. But there has to be other stuff because they're like, okay, you can suppress that. We don't need to show that footage. We got other stuff. What up, Queen? So I'm gonna wait and see how it plays out. I mean, I'm gonna be covering it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo you know. We trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, we definitely gonna try to cover this. But hey, that's how it is. That's how it is. Oh boy, let me see. All right. So Diddy's lawyer, Anthony Rico, has stated that he cannot prevent Diddy from taking the stand to testify in his own defense. This is significant because if Diddy chooses to testify, he will be subject to questioning and potentially be unable to avoid incriminating himself. Rico's statement suggests a power dynamic where Diddy ultimately has the final say on whether he will take the stand. Now, again, this is bad because, like we said, you'll incriminate yourself. I'm gonna try to find a video of it, but we know that his attorney withdrew. So on March 7th, Diddy's attorney, the one that said he can't stop Diddy from taking the stand, attorney withdrawal in high-profile case, examining the motion to withdraw in Sean Combs' legal defense. On February 21st, 2025, a notable development emerged in the legal proceedings involving Diddy. His attorney, Anthony Rico, one of the legal counselors representing Combs, filed a motion to withdraw as counsel. Given the high-profile nature of the case, the move raises critical questions about attorney-client relationships, legal ethics, and the implications of such withdrawals. Understanding the motion to withdraw, a review of the docket reveals that Rico's motion to withdraw provides limited details as expected. He asserts that despite providing Combs with high-level legal representation, consistent with the American Bar Association stands, he can no longer effectively serve as counsel. Notably, Rico emphasized that his withdrawal would not impact the schedule of the trial or pretrial motion deadlines, that Combs will continue to have legal representation. This careful wording suggests a balancing act, maintaining the attorney-client privilege while satisfying the court's requirements to justify the withdrawal. Legal professionals are bound by ethical obligations that prevent them from disclosing privileged conversations, making such motions necessarily vague. Uh, Legal counsel. Why would an attorney withdraw? Legal counsel does not typically take a case anticipating withdrawal. High profile cases like this involve financial compensation, making it unlikely that non-payment is the reason. The ABA provides guidance on circumstances in which a lawyer may seek to withdraw. Now, you got fundamental disagreement on strategy, which that's probably it. Hey, I can't represent you if you're talking about taking a stand, because if you take the stand and incriminate yourself, when they start doing their cross and they talking to you and you just throwing shit out there, spewing stuff because you think you Diddy and you not Sean Combs, thinking that you bigger than the program because you so used to running things, I can't get you out of that nonsense. And that lawyer's like, all right, I got paid up to here, but you don't want to be the defense lawyer that drops the ball, because ultimately you're selling yourself. If I can get Diddy off of this, cool. My numbers just go up. But if they start seeing you drop the ball, you fumbling because of something that Diddy did, it's going to look bad on you. So even when we talk about, what's the guy's name? The white guy that got all the cases, they call him an ambulance chaser that's suing Diddy and stuff. At the end of the day, your job as a lawyer is to take these cases and get paid. Your job is to get paid. No one ever gets on lawyers when they defend a murderer. That you know what I'm saying, that there's evidence to show that they did it, but they get them off, because a lawyer's job, it don't matter, right or wrong, is to protect and defend that client. So he's probably looking at it like, man, if Diddy's trying to take the stand, I know the evidence because I'm looking at all the evidence they got. Dog, don't take the stand. But if Diddy wants to do it, the lawyer has to do whatever the client wants him to do. That's the law. You know, you're paying me for services. Now, I can make all the recommendations, I can file all the motions, but ultimately the last say so goes to the client. So that's a disagreement on strategy. Client conduct. Attorneys may withdraw if a client insists on a course of action a lawyer finds unethical, fraudulent, or legally untenable. Well, Diddy was talking to, he said he was threatening witnesses, calling them. Yeah, man, lawyer Busby, Tony Busby. Yeah, that's the guy. They call him an ambulance chaser, but you're a lawyer. Why not take these high profile cases? If you can win them, you can win them. If not, oh well. You know what I mean? You got to look at it like, if you're a firefighter, I can't say I don't want to do that fire. I don't want to go put that fire out. I'm going to do this fire. Like, that's his job. They got to go put the fire out regardless of who calls. Now, you ain't got to take these cases, but if you can win these cases, it looks good. Let me see if this shows it.
I'm just not with all that freaking.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
50 Cent spoke with the Enthusiast Report as it's confirmed his Diddy Takedown doc has found a home on Netflix.
So we know 50 got a documentary coming out. You got the documentary coming out on Netflix. We definitely gonna watch that. Check that out.
No air date announced yet, but the trolling continues as 50 posted this meme of Diddy oil.
Agent sees baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
I mean, he has a big house. He buys in bulk. You know, I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. I mean, have you sat in the parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
Could that be Diddy's bait that they don't even sell baby oil?
One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for.
In a TMZ special streaming now, Mark also says Diddy wants to take the stand to explain the surveillance video assault on ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura.
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand.
This is your lawyer. This is the lawyer, Anthony Rico. They said, I don't know if I can keep Diddy off the stand. So I don't blame him. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Diddy, I'm looking at that footage. Man, you didn't already apologize on like. You just got to shut up, man. In this instance, the damage is already done and is out. The only thing I would do is I would have told Diddy, delete all social media, get off of everything, get a whole new number, and shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't make no apology. You paid Cassie that money. Shut up. Disappear. Be quiet. And he talking about, I want to take the stand. See, this is because Diddy's been in power too long. Diddy, he don't like being told what to do. See, Diddy got an ego. And this ego is what got him in this situation now. To think that you are smart enough to get on stand and be able to justify what happened in the Cassie video. Oh, let me tell you something. Them white women about to eat you up, man. This is a DEI special right here. This is the DEI special right here. They about to do you in. That's what they about to do. You gonna get on that stand. You gonna talk about that. They gonna be like, okay, so how often would you do something like this? Was it always drug and rage? What was it? Because you look pretty sober here. And he's just gonna start saying stupid shit. And that one thing's gonna lead to another. And then out of everything that he's saying here, that's under oath, guess what? When them civil cases start rolling in, pull from here. He's already admitted that he's a drunk. Pull from here. He already admitted he's an alcoholic. So me saying that I was getting beat by Diddy while he was drinking, we already got evidence right here that he just said it. So anything he says, they always tell you will be used against you in the court of law. Well, once you use it in the court, it will be used against you in other courtrooms. It's just, it's terrible, man.
I think he is very eager to tell his story. And I think he will tell every part of his story, including what you see on the videos.
All right, well, that's his lawyer there. That's his lawyer there. Let me see if we got any Diddy updates. Ain't nothing like a Diddy party. Word to LeBron. All right, hold on, let me go over here and see what we got. Diddy feeling nervous. We got that. Diddy trial live updates. Several juries said they seen the video. We already did that. We covered that. Yeah, I think we up to date right now. Unless y'all got an art. If y'all got anything, y'all can send it to me. I'm trying to look over here on Twitter, but I don't want to have it up on the screen because it'd be some wild stuff on Twitter. So I gotta, find some appropriate things that we could bring up. Let me see.
For a limited time only, shop now at Raymore and Flanagan for pre-tariff pricing or enjoy 72-month
jury select.
that's wild. You hear them advertising, come shop here before pre-tariff pricing. Like that's wild. You know, the last ships came in. So if you do need to order something, need to get it in like today, tomorrow, because the prices are going up. You really about to get hit over the head, especially from China.
Starting today in Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial. Prospective jurors are inside the courtroom now, along with Combs. Federal prosecutors allege he abused, threatened, and coerced women into prolonged, drug-fueled sexual orgies he called freak-offs, and then threatened them into silence. Diddy has denied the charges, but he's facing what could amount to a life sentence if convicted. Let's bring in ABC's Rena Roy outside that courthouse for more. Rena, what's the latest?
Yeah, well, Diane, we know from our teams inside the criminal courthouse here behind us that jury selection is officially underway. And the key, of course, we've been saying it all morning, that the key is to find jurors that can actually be unbiased and fair when weighing the evidence against Sean Diddy Combs. We know that several hundred prospective jurors, they've already filled out a written questionnaire. And from there, the judge will be asking follow-up questions. And we know that those questions will include things like their feelings about law enforcement personnel, hip-hop artists, and sexual assault victims that may prevent them from being partial. And they will also, of course, be asked about what exactly they know about this case. We know this case has been in the headlines for months. Most people know something about it. So, of course, they're going to be looking for somebody who can put what they know aside and really just focus on the facts of this trial here. And we know that they'll also be asked if they've gone through a traumatic event in the past that might make it difficult for them to hear some of the details from accusers on the stand.
Rena, any sense on how the defense plans to try to raise reasonable doubt in this trial?
Right. Well, from day one, they have maintained Sean Diddy Combs' innocence. They have flat out said he has done nothing wrong. Just days ago, he rejected a plea deal. He has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges against him. And they have said that all of these sexual encounters that we've heard about and that we'll, of course, hear more details about, that those were all consensual. They argue that the accusers in this case, they want to pay out.
And what about the prosecution, Rena? How are they trying to...
See? They're talking about the accusers all want to pay out. So this criminal, like these civil cases are already a little bit easier to win. But once someone is found guilty of something, it's pretty much a guarantee that you're going to win that civil case. So once this case goes through, anything he's found guilty of, when they start dropping them civil, well, there's already 60 civil cases against them. That's just going to make it easier for them. And they about to be getting paid out. Let's say Cassie got 50 M. We about to start seeing a $2 million settlement here, $3 million settlement here. Somebody might get an over the top 10 or 15 million. It's about to be crazy as hell. We about to see money that we ain't, well, I won't say that we ain't never seen it anyway, but we about to be hearing numbers nonstop. Now, it ain't no telling all the names that they got listed. There's no telling who's involved in what. I know the judge did say we're not going to include nobody. We're talking about you and your lifestyle. But still, this is one time where you don't want your name brought up. They could be in there, such and such, celebrity C. And now everybody's looking at you. Now they starting to go through your old pictures and stuff. Like, you ain't had nothing to do with this, but it's just some random, oh, man, we remember when C was here? This look a little fishy. So it's about to get ugly. Now, we don't know. We're just thinking like artists and shit, but there's about to be some politicians in this. There's about to be a lot of people. I don't know, man. I ain't gonna say that because I don't wish no harm on anybody, but
prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt.
So we know that several victims in this case are going to take the stand. Several of them have been unidentified in the indictment, and we know that singer and ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs, Cassie Ventura, is going to be a star witness for the prosecution. And also part of that part of the case is, of course, that 2016 video that was obtained by CNN. It shows Sean Diddy Combs beating and dragging Ventura through a Los Angeles hotel hallway. That, of course, made the rounds on social media. A lot of people had opinions about it. The jury will now get a chance to view that video.
All right, Rena Roy, thank you.
All right. So I do have it's a thing called the Diddy docket, but we're gonna go through this, and this will be the last thing. I got to get on to my other channel so we can get the Diddy docket. We'll follow this so we can get the Monday mistakes in. Well, we definitely not going all the way back this far. Let me see. Assistant U.S. attorney, we don't have the next juror in line for review. Let's see where we at. All right. Here we go. We'll just start right here. Prospective jurors are brought into the courtroom. Judge, this is a criminal case. U.S. versus Sean Combs. I expect the trial to run for approximately 8 weeks. Justice depends on all of you. You all filled out the long questionnaire. In a few minutes, I'll ask more. If during the process you would prefer to answer a question not in open court because it is sensitive, we'll do it out of earshot. The transcript will be visible only to the parties themselves. Your answers your answers are going to be private. You ain't nobody about to know nothing about what you got to say. The judge also said, let me give you a briefing of the summary of the case. There is one defendant on trial, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, Diddy, other names, and Love. He has pled not guilty and is presumed to be innocent. There are 5 counts: racketeering, conspiracy, kidnapping, ex-trafficking, for prostitution, 2 victims, and male commercial ex-workers. He denied all of it. Our schedule is to be ready for May 12th for trial. First week, 9:30 to 5, then 9 to 3. Swear them in. Clerk, does anyone not swear an oath? You know, if you swear the whole, tell the truth, the whole truth, then you'll go up there. You won't swear the truth. Swear the oath. You'll affirm. You won't swear. You'll affirm. All right, clerk, do you affirm under the penalties of perjury? Thank you. You may be seated. Judge, everyone had a list of questions. There are 14 sequestered questions. You'll be escorted to 26B. Circle the sequestered questions you have a yes answer to. The judge said, are you impacted by allegations of R, guns, intimate partner violence, etc.? Views of artists in the hip-hop community, cooperators with immunity, pseudonyms, 14, is anything else? When you are called back, you'll be shown a list of persons and places. Oh, so the judge is saying, hey, we got cooperators that are receiving immunity. Do you feel a certain type of way that people that participated in freak-offs, that participated in the ex-trafficking, allegedly, do you feel a certain type of way that they should be prosecuted too? Or are you okay with them getting immunity? So basically what the feds are telling them, hey, we got people that participated. How you feel about that? What's you guys' thought? Would that persuade your thought process? Do you feel a certain way that people that were helping out and participating are getting immunity for cooperating? You okay with that? You see what I'm saying? The feds got, this ain't your state case. The feds already, you got immunity. But all that, what they were doing down in Georgia, that young thug, you getting up there, I don't remember. Try that with the feds. You do that with the feds when you voluntarily said you will cooperate and take that stand, they're going to hold your ass in contempt. Your ass is going to jail. There ain't about to be no games in the federal courtroom. No. You could try that down in the state. But now up here, if you say that you can cooperate, it's in writing. Your lawyer, you signed it. I will cooperate. I will tell you what I need to do in return for some immunity. Damn, they asking the jury, how do you feel about that? Because they about to have a lot of people testifying. The The judge then says, these include, since you filled out the questionnaire, have you read about the case? Do you have training in addiction, ex abuse? Have you worked for law enforcement? Ever been in a lawsuit? Ever been accused or the victim of a crime? So we went over that. The judge said, okay, escort them back to 26B. All rise. Prospective jurors leave. Then one female returns, starts to read the binder of people and places. Fashion's biggest night. Self-appreciation coincides with one of the icons' first day of jury selection. Will Diddy dominate the Met Gala red carpet even though he isn't there? Will media ask questions? Will celebs answer, or will they do the French Montana? Now, I find it interesting. I find it interesting that you guys may not see nothing from it, but let me show you something. Tonight is the Met Gala, right? Everyone's supposed to be there. We just an article talking about will take over the red carpet.
Now I gotta ask, man. You know, this year's been crazy. Yeah. Have you heard? Have you talked to Diddy at all?
They're gonna be asking everybody tonight questions. Hey, what do you think about Diddy's case starting? And guess what? This gentleman right here of all, he faked a damn knee injury. But now I just seen him. But he's talking about LeBron James. Unfortunately, because of my knee, I won't be able to attend the Met Gala in New York tonight. So as many people have been asking and congratulating me on, hate to miss an historical event. My beautiful queen will be holding the castle down as she's always done. No, we know why you're not going there. We know why you're not going there, mister. You don't want them to ask you questions about Diddy because we know that you said ain't nothing like a Diddy party. You freaky ass nigga.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, we about to see a lot of people quiet. This case is about to go on. A lot of celebrities, we're not going to see them out and about. We're not going to see them commenting on anything. Everyone's going to be shh, because that binder might have your name in it. That binder might have a location that you were in with Diddy. That binder might have photos of you at a certain type of event with Diddy. That binder might name your name in being a willing participant in a freak off, which isn't illegal, but your name might be in there. You see what I'm saying? So everyone's about to, I'm not going to that. Oh, yeah, you know I got a knee injury, man. Shut up. Any other time you'd be out and about. Now it's just all of a sudden I got a knee injury. I ain't doing nothing. Nah, man, go on, pop out. I'm not sending. If I'm getting an invite to the Met Gala and I ain't going, my wife ain't going by herself. No, I'm not sending my wife out there by herself, send her out there to the wolves to hold down the council. Nigga, I'm rich. I don't need nobody to hold down the council. She gonna hold it down with me. I'm not sending my wife out there by. I got a knee injury. Don't nobody know my wife or, you know, I'm not saying that Savannah isn't famous or anything. You know, I ain't got nothing personal against these two. But we know her because of LeBron. Ain't nobody. Okay, Savannah James is at the Met Gala. All right, next celebrity up. Ain't nobody there to see her. They there to see you there, Brian. They there to see that black love, but you sending your wife out there, you ain't gonna go. I think that's come on, man. But this ain't about you today, Brian. But if your name get brought up in the court, I got a lot of stuff I need to talk to you about anyway. But anyway, all right. So that's the updates where we are right now. They're questioning the jurors. So it says the feds have issued over 300 subpoenas and confirmed 50 witnesses in the Sean Diddy Combs investigation. This is back in October. Revisiting the Diddy docket, Diddy lists of witnesses, victims, conspirators, abettors. This was published in October. Since then, several of the names on the list have appeared in headlines and court docs. Which ones do you expect to hear about in the upcoming weeks? Now, that's what they got pinned up there following the news of Sean Diddy. So we'll keep that up there. This is a wild picture that they got of Diddy. Let me see. Let me go to the inner city press and see if they just got anything. We'll follow them. The U.S. versus Sean Combs jury selection day 1 in the courtroom. Diddy in formal dress wearing reading glasses has 8 lawyers. Okay, so we do got some updates right here. All right, hold on. Let me scroll down. We got some stuff. So Inner City Press said they'll be live tweeting the trial. Oh, so we definitely got to follow them. All right, hey, do you guys want me to just do like little short videos? Because I do got to go. But it looks like they're excluding different jurors and stuff. Would you guys want me to like go over that? Shit, he said he's going to be live tweeting. Juror 52 leaves. I see no grounds to exclude. Next is Juror 55. You got an open bottle ticket. Yes. Shame on you. Not excluded. Oh, so Juror 55 had that open bottle, that open container. Juror 55, because, you know, they asked you, have you been accused of any crimes? So Juror 55 said, yeah, man, I had an open bottle in the whip. The judge laughing. The judge don't give a damn, because guess what? The judge ain't on trial. The judge said, you ain't got to exclude them. An open bottle? Well, Diddy drink a little bit, so that'll work for the defense. You want to get you a drunk? You want to get you somebody that potentially drinks? The defense, there you go. They throwing you 155, open bottle. Okay. Juror number 58 said, I'm in the Department of Corrections in charge of incarcerated accounts. So they might feel a certain type of way. You know, wait, Diddy is in the Department of Corrections. You see what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of little things that they could throw him out. But all right, that's 2 hours ago. Let me see what these updates are. 52, Juror 52. I work at a bougie design firm, Pentagram. What do they design? Fonts like Courier? Oh, never. Pentagram.com. Let's see what this website is. Pentagram, typefaces. The human ability to communicate ideas through written language. Okay, whoever this is, hey, what juror number is that? Juror 52. How much you charge? Because I got an idea what I want for my new intro. Someone find out who juror 50. Nah, never mind. Don't find out who juror 52 is. We'll get in trouble for that. Juror 52, if you want to come out and speak up, let me know. Let's see what you guys say.
Here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse, amid Sean Diddy Combs jury selection. Now, the first morning was really quite exemplative of what New York City is. They had among the prospective jurors interviewed this morning was a woman who works at HBO, which, of course, as pointed out by Tenny Garagos, one of Sean Combs' 8 lawyers here today, has just recently produced The Fall of Diddy. She remains in the pool. She was not excluded for cause, but Judge Subramanian said she can be questioned in a second round about whether her job in HBO is close enough to the documentary. On the other hand, there was a woman from Simon & Schuster, a head of marketing. She says she's reviewed a press release for a book by Al B. Shores that's all about Diddy. So she was excluded for cause. There was also a woman who designs fonts. There was a guy who works for the Department of Corrections. There was a whole slew of people. We live tweeted all of it. You can find it on Inner City Press, and we'll continue in the afternoon. And we'll continue. Apparently, it's going to take 3 days. Some say more. And then they'll end up having a jury, and on May 12th, opening statements and going forward. But the circus has arrived, and it's quite something. Inner City Press, we continue.
All right. An hour ago, well, we don't know that. We're live tweeting the trial. This jury needs to be dismissed. They worked at HBO, and HBO has made documentaries about Diddy. Why are all these problematic jurors being let in by the judge? The HBO prospective juror, while the judge did not excuse her for cause, he said she can be further questioned. Whether her job at HBO puts near the fall of Diddy and Combs, lawyers could always use a premeditatory challenge on her. We'll see. Or pre-promptory. So, just because you work at HBO don't mean you had something to do with Diddy. You know what I mean? If you work at Amazon and you're picking products, you ain't got nothing to do with Jeff Bezos and what Amazon got going on with the NFL deal. You see what I'm saying? Just because you work at HBO don't mean you got anything to do. You might be a janitor for HBO. I ain't got nothing to do with the downfall of Diddy. So they're like, nah, you can go ahead and keep him. But they'll ask a little bit later on. No, it's Brody. Okay, here go a couple of jurors right here. Juror 89. My sister is a federal prosecutor in San Antonio. She works mostly on immigration. Can you be fair? Growing up, the neighbors were a high-profile couple. I was closer in age with the girlfriend. My parents asked me to be a peacemaker. Man, what the hell has that got to do with anything? Judge, any application? None, not to exclude. Next juror. When it was breaking, house raids, arrest Cassie, the artist. Can you be fair? Yes. No applications. Juror not excluded. Juror 89. I know Diageo. I'm a sales manager with airline. So he knows about the Diageo case. He's a sales manager with the airline. So I guess he's the one that gets the liquor through him. All right. We got the 8 lawyers out of the way. Was Diageo a distributor for Ciroc? Yep, but the prospective juror who deals with Diageo was excluded on other grounds. He said he's dealing with the young girlfriend of a high-profile neighbor, and seeing abuse would stop him from being objective. So he didn't get excused because of the liquor connection. He got excused because of a high-profile case that's dealing with like domestic, disputes. All right. So that's the updates of what we got right now going on in the Diddy trial. It's early. We got roughly a couple hundred jurors that they got to see. They got 3 days to pick. And we'll go from there, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's a crazy time for Diddy. Don't do crimes, and we'll keep updates on this. I'm probably going to break all of this down and just drop them throughout the week. It looks like we're going to have a lot of Diddy content, especially during the jury selection. Next week, we're about to just be doing deep dives, man. And, we always going to connect other people to other stuff. We'll see where we go from there. I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo You Know. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll reach that probably by the end of May, and we'll just keep on. You know what I mean? You can run, but you can't hide. Give me like 15, 20 minutes, and we'll be doing Monday Mistakes over on Mo.J. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.
You can